Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to the new year. It's a brand new episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning with yours truly, your humble host, Van Ebert. And we are going to get into some Nosferatu here tonight, or Nosferatu here, I should say right there, as I'm distracted by my show playing over here on another apparatus right there. But there we go. Now we've got all my ducks in a row. I'm getting my shit taken care of here. So, all right. Well, it's been quite a day. But now, finally, I get to relax with you, my movie maniacs, as we do a deep dive on Nosferatu here, the latest Robert Eggers movie. All right. But real quick, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody. Hey, well, I hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve and a great New Year's Day. I'm sure everyone had some well-deserved time off because, yeah, it was a hell of a 2024, but looks like we made it, as Barry Manilow once said. And if you're under the age of 30, you have no idea who the hell Barry Manilow is, okay? So, and I've just aged myself, okay? So, he's, just picture him, he's actually a talented singer, unlike somebody like, I don't know, Post Malone or somebody like that, that kind of thing. Somebody with talent, unlike somebody newer like that. But anyway, just real quick, want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there in Movies Merica land. All right. And real quick, just let me remind you that if you're a movie maniac, or you're one of my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics, or hey, you're just some guy or gal off the street, well, you can live chat with me during this episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning via YouTube or Rumble, okay? Because I don't want to just be up here going yep the whole time. All right, I don't want to be like you got a substitute teacher right for the day, and all they're doing is just up there and just puking out words, and all you're doing is like just sitting there breathing, not learning anything, not being stimulated in any way. Well, you can get stimulated. No, not that way. Don't get excited. Okay, this ain't a 900 number. Okay, but you can get stimulated Nosferatu style. Nosferatu. There we go. See, I'm going to do that a few times here tonight. I'm going to blow the whole pronunciation of Nosferatu here tonight. I guarantee it there. But yeah, if you want to get stimulated talking about this vampire movie from Robert Eggers, or any vampire movie, hey, you want to throw some Fright Night my way or some Lost Boys my way, by all means, in the live chat. The live chat's there for you, okay? You talk about whatever you want in there, okay? So maybe ease up on the feminine hygiene stuff. If you guys start talking about that, I'm going to have to start banning people, okay? So, and I don't want to be that guy right there. But real quick, before I get started here, I'm going to grab a tug off my beer right here. And that's your reminder that it's Thirsty Thursday, okay? It's almost the weekend here. So if you got a beer, you got a cocktail, you got whatever, you're drinking a Zima, whatever, hey, go ahead and toss it back right now here, because it's time to relax. Oh, yeah. Okay. I needed that right there. That is how we roll there. And hey, we've got my man Beyond Formal here and saying, hey, movies, and he is drinking liquid death. Yes, exactly. He's feeling a little morbid there with the liquid death, which I think, normally that would be like a marketing nightmare, calling your beverage liquid death. But actually, in this day and age, that's marketing genius right there. Liquid death is fantastic. and I pick myself up some of that every once in a while. But yeah, Beyond Formal, good to see you, good sir, supporting the Movies Merica Corporation here. So, all right, let's get into some Nosferatu here. And Beyond Formal, I love sparkling water. Dig it. So as we're talking about here, as we saw in Nosferatu, Bill Skarsgard is in this, and is it just me, or is Bill Skarsgard just putting himself out there, just making himself that go-to guy for creepy horror characters? First he was Pennywise in the two It movies there. Now he's Nosferatu. He's kind of like, I remember with Gollum, and Andy Serkis is the guy whose name I was trying to think of. So Andy Serkis played, Gollum, and he also played Caesar from the Planet of the Apes movies. There, he was like the go-to stop motion guy, right? Or not stop motion, but body motion, or whatever you want to call it. That for those particular characters. Well, I think Bill Skarsgård is the go-to guy for the creepy horror characters, like the scary horror personalities like Pennywise and Nosferatu. And we'll see if he adds to that later on. But we've got Caesar Zavala right here, and on the YouTube side saying it was meh, good first half, boring second, little character development, over the top theatrical acting. Dracula didn't really use his powers. Atmosphere and look of film were great right there. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the boring second right there. I thought the whole movie was fantastic. We're all entitled to our opinions right there, but okay. So this the thing is, and I'm not directing this at you, Caesar. There, and by the way, thank you for joining the show here and enhancing the experience and gracing us with your presence there, Caesar. But yeah, it's this. There's some slow parts to this movie. All right, everybody, get ready. This is not Lost Boys. All right, this is not Daybreakers. This isn't From Dusk Till Dawn. This isn't like just pow 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 pow, action, movement, guns, blood sucking, people getting killed left and right. Like, it is not that whatsoever. Robert Eggers, he's going for more of a moody, ethereal, just really trying to just saturate you in the creepiness and basically really make you earn it, that kind of thing. Like, really bring it into you. It's not supposed to be like Michael Bay made a vampire movie or anything like that. And so that slowness in some spots is going to rub some people the wrong way. For instance, Cinema Score is something where obviously you get, movie watchers, they vote on movies, and Cinema Score comes out with a Cinema Score, right? And most of the time, Cinema Score, even with bad movies, the Cinema Score is usually at least like a B plus, A minus, something like that. Even with some movies where I'm like, what the hell? You gave that piece of dog shit movie an A for the Cinema Score? What are you talking about? Well, this movie got a B minus Cinema Score, which for Cinema Score is pretty low. It's on the low side for Cinema Score right there. And so I think that, yeah, it is not. It's not just nonstop, like kinetic, frenetic action where you're like, oh my God, I wish this movie would slow down. Like, it is not that. And if you've seen other Robert Eggers movies, you know that, yeah, he is not Michael Bay. He is not, Antoine Fuqua or anything like that. He's not like this. He's not this director whose movies just brutally assault your senses or anything like that. He is kind of more introspective and calculating, and he really wants to bring you into this world and kind of minimize the distractions in the movie and whatnot. And so that's what I liked about this movie right here is just try to just basically marinate you in the world of Nosferatu, but with it's got very it's got the music is good, and music really sucks you in to the movie. There, it fits the nature of the story. It fits the darkness and the dread. The music just matches with that perfectly right there. And then and then some people, like Caesar was saying, the over the top theatrical acting. Now, I don't know if you're referring to when Lily-Rose Depp as Helen. She's like the main protagonist. She's the woman that Nosferatu is wanting, right? The object of his desire. She does like a lot of scenes where her body is convulsing and she's shaking, and her eyes roll up in her head and that kind of thing. Stuff like that. There's one. The over the top theatrical acting, I will agree with you on that one in one respect, in one role there, Caesar. It's the Aaron Taylor Johnson role where, like, at least I don't know how many more times in this movie he could have been like, "Good God, man, vampires don't exist. Get a hold of yourself, man. Come on, come back to reality." Like, he was just like, he was that guy. He was like the skeptic, and he kind of went, he was really going for it. In the way that he delivered his lines right there. And then Dracula didn't really use his power. So, yeah, I mean, if you compare it with, say, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, like Francis Ford Coppola's movie from, 1992, that movie, they really wanted to bust out, like, the smorgasbord of showing Dracula's powers. I mean, that movie, he was, like, turning into a werewolf. And then he was turning into some gooey friggin' dragon-looking thing, and then he was turning into a bat, and he was like, he was like he turned into a bunch of rats at one point, I believe, and he was controlling like animals and all this stuff. I mean, he was basically going through the whole gamut of Dracula powers here, where Nosferatu is kind of like the more dialed down, tamed version of Bram Stoker's Dracula, because Nosferatu is Count Dracula, but the movie Nosferatu, the original one that came out in 1922, it was charged and convicted with with plagiarizing basically Bram Stoker's Dracula. And actually, the movie Nosferatu, the studio or whatever, they lost the case, and so most of the copies of the movie Nosferatu from 1922 were destroyed. But obviously, there was a few that did survive. That's how we've got the Nosferatu now. That's why you can still watch this over 100 years old vampire movie called Nosferatu there. So even though it's a dialed down version of Dracula, and they don't call him Dracula, they call him Count Orlock. There's a Nosferatu movie in 1979 where they called him Count Dracula in that one, but mostly Nosferatu is Count Orlock there. And so it's more of the dialed down, calmed down version of Dracula where, yeah, in the story, he doesn't turn into a dragon and a goblin and anything like that. What the most he does in this is he uses like mind control powers, and then he controls like rats, which causes rats to populate the town and spread the Black Plague. And he can travel, he can fly. Obviously, he can not show his actual form, but cast his shadows on stuff. So his powers in this is kind of like more is toned down from the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie from 1992. But he's also very brutal in this movie as well. I mean, the kills are brutal and sudden and shocking, and so he doesn't hold back. I mean, like hell, as we saw in this movie, he's killing little kids, he's killing little girls in this thing. I mean, this movie is dark, it is brutal and whatnot. And Caesar, then atmosphere and look of film were great. Absolutely, they were here, and so you'll see that in a video that I'm going to show here in a little bit. You'll see the atmosphere and the look of Nosferatu look fantastic. But yeah, hey man, good perspective, good opinion on that, or good contribution there to that, Caesar, right there. Hey, we've got Mr. Scott Awesome in here. Got Ravage Battle, Skinema Score. Well, hey, everybody, you'll be happy, particularly Ravage Battle. You do have boobies in Nosferatu right there. You actually get some sex. So you definitely get some sexual content in this. You do get some titties in here. And if you know the titty peens up in here, as we all know, titties matter. Okay. And so there's stuff that matters in that regard in Nosferatu right there. Because this movie it's a very erotic vampire movie as well. There's like some parts in this movie where I'm like, are these people about to just get down like right here? What the hell? This is very erotic. This is very sexually toned scene right here. And then there are a couple scenes where some characters are getting down. All right. So but yeah, it's not going to be, you're not going to mistake it for some hardcore porn or anything like that. So don't get too excited whatsoever there. But and Mr. Scott Awesome, welcome there to the show. We're getting all kinds of good stuff right here. And Ravage Battle. Van put on a few holiday pounds. Well, I would be pissed off if that weren't true, but that is very true right now. And so, starting next week, man, I'm going to have to basically go into I'm gonna have to do that Rocky IV workout. Remember Rocky IV, where he traveled to Russia and Rocky Balboa, he's running through snow and he's working with like yokes from oxen. He's running up mountains and shit. He's working out in a barn and that kind of thing. He's lifting up like cattle carts and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to go into that workout starting next week right there. Because it is no fun with some extra pounds on you right there. So definitely, so we'll say, hey, by next June when you're watching Movies Merica next June right there, you can see a totally ripped Van over here, 6-pack abs. You're gonna be like, why is this guy doing every show without a shirt on? What the hell, man? What the hell? God, this guy is so full of himself. And we got yes, it felt like a TV version of Dracula. An original Nosferatu looks scarier, but not as menacing as this one. Wow, okay. TV version of Dracula. Okay, all right. I don't know what channel you're watching there. I mean, I guess by TV if you mean HBO. Because Nosferatu in this movie, he gets brutal, he gets bloody, okay, he gets graphic. This ain't no NBC Sunday night vampire movie, okay, and it definitely ain't a Hallmark Channel vampire movie. So, and I think like the cinematography, like you were just saying yourself, Caesar, the cinematography is worlds beyond anything you'd see on TV there, okay, except for unless you're talking like some prestige TV series like The Penguin or The Gentleman or Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, something like that. So some high dollar prestige TV series like that. So all right, we're getting some good activity. All right, we got the mosh pit going on here in the live chat right there. So you guys are not disappointing getting it done there. All right. So more to say about Nosferatu here. I mean, the mustache on Count Orlock, I thought, was a little strange there. I mean, and other people have things to say about the mustache there on Count Orlock, but I'll cover that here in just a little bit. But you've got the mustache on him, and I was kind of shaking my head about like, why is there a mustache on Count Orlock in this thing until I did this thing called research, okay? Because I was like, all right, I think it's a little weird to have a mustache on there, but I want to give the movie creators, I want to give the filmmakers, a chance and see if they explain why Count Orlock has a mustache, why the vampire, why Nosferatu has a mustache in this. And I did see an interview with Robert Eggers about it, and he basically straight up said that he had read in various books about Nosferatu that Nosferatu, he would have a look of a Transylvanian lord, but a Transylvanian lord with rotting flesh. Okay, so like old school tellings of Nosferatu, written by people that actually thought Nosferatu was for real. They describe Nosferatu as, just this corpse that got up out of the ground. It's rotting, it's worms and stuff. It's just straight up disgusting, okay? All right. It basically looks like Rosie O'Donnell when she first wakes up in the morning, okay? That gross. I know, that paints the picture right there. Disgusting, right? But because it's a disgusting, disgusting, what's the word I'm looking for? Decrepit Transylvanian lord. Well, I dare you to look, up pictures of Transylvanian lords in books, and I dare you to find one that doesn't have a mustache. It does not have a mustache whatsoever. Okay, because that's just a part of the culture of like Carpathia and Romania and Transylvania, like this Romania and that whole part of the world, just having like just a a kick-ass mustache is just it's like a status symbol, right? It's just part of the culture right there. So good luck trying to find a Transylvanian lord or a Carpathian lord or a Romanian lord. Good luck finding a picture of one of them without a mustache. So of course Robert Eggers is like, well, it'd be kind of stupid if I have this vampire that's a Transylvanian lord, and he's like the one guy that's doesn't have a mustache. Come on, And so when you think about that, it talks about that right there. But let me do this here real quick, and I can show you here what I'm talking about there. So because I don't want you just to take my word for it. So let's do this here real quick and come back here and show you that right there. Yep, here we go. So I wanted to show you this article right here. So Nosferatu, Bill Skarsgard's horrifying Count Orlock face reveal explained. And so fans knew Bill Skarsgard's look as Count Orlock would be horrifying, but many didn't expect him to look like that right here. So goes on to say, those who want to see Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlock and Robert Eggers' newest film, Nosferatu, will have to actually go see the film in theaters since his character design has not fully been revealed elsewhere. Yeah, they've done a really good job at making sure that, for the most part, there's not leaks of like a full picture of Count Orlock in there. Nosferatu was a modern-day retelling of a 1922 film of the same name. The story is loosely based on Dracula, as it is about a nobleman who is also a vampire who becomes obsessed with a woman to the point he will terrorize anyone and anything to get what he wants. Her. Okay, so basically stalking her. Okay, there you go. So it's not some light stalking, some very heavy stalking. Okay. And the film is directed by one of the most influential horror filmmakers in recent history, Robert Eggers, who has also been behind the camera for flicks like The Witch, which is a legitimately scary movie, and The Lighthouse, not scary, just outright weird. So why does Bill Skarsgård's Count Orlock look the way he does in Nosferatu? Goes on to say, those who have ventured to the movies and watched Nosferatu are the only ones who have been able to truly see Bill Skarsgård as a modern-day iteration of Count Orlock. Skarsgård's character design was largely kept a secret throughout Nosferatu's marketing. In teasers, trailers, and even posters, Count Orlock was not fully revealed. Instead, only his silhouette or eyes were shown, or in rare circumstances, an entirely out-of-focus shot of half his face. However, one aspect of his design that was constantly marketed was his abnormally long, bony fingers and long, sharp fingernails, all right? The marketing material painted Orlock as being some unworldly-like creature. From what can be seen in that material, he had extremely long fingers, grayish skin, colorless eyes, and just looked like a monster in general there. So when Skarsgård character was first fully revealed, one would assume it would be completely satisfying, only it wasn't. Since Eggers only revealed Skarsgård full face for less than 1 second and a shocking jump scare at the beginning of the film, not allowing the viewer to take him in. Like the marketing, most of Count Orlock's early appearances were hidden by darkness, clever camera work, etc., essentially causing more and more discomfort for the viewer there. And that's one thing I'll say about this movie, is it does do a good job at building up this atmosphere and anticipation of how foreboding Count Orlock is, because he's shrouded in shadow for the first probably third of this movie, where he's built up to be this creepy, terrifying, horrifying character, because you're not really seeing the full full Count Orlock. Okay, so he just does this really good job at building him up as this scary, horrifying, mysterious creature right there. So that way, and then when you finally do see him close up, you see his face and all that. It definitely made you earn getting to see him in his full glory, so to speak, right there. All right. So however, his full look was fully revealed over time, with each time he showed up on screen, seemingly revealing a bit more than the last time. When his full body was finally on screen and in focus, he didn't look entirely how many likely expected him to look. Unlike other vampires, and especially unlike Count Orlock from the 1922 film, Skarsgård's version of the character was crafted to look historically accurate. In an interview with Variety, Eggers described his decisions regarding the character design, specifically saying that he went back to the folklore versions of vampires, which were walking undead corpses. So that's kind of what I was talking about before, where he's talking about you have the old tellings of vampires, the folklore versions of vampires there. So Robert Eggers says, so to try to make a more scary vampire than we've had in quite some time, I went back to the folklore. It's something that I like anyway, but the early folk vampire was written about by people who believed that vampires existed. There was going to be some good stuff there, and the vampire of folklore is a putrid, walking, undead corpse. And so the question then became, what does a dead Transylvanian nobleman look like? Eggers then described how every style choice he made for Count Orlock lined up with history and the true way that they would have looked in old folklore. That means this complex Hungarian costume with very long sleeves, strange high-heeled shoes, and a furry hat. It also means a mustache. No matter what, there's no way this guy can't have a mustache. Try to find a Transylvanian person who's of age who can grow a mustache that doesn't have a mustache. It's part of the culture there. So yeah, I just wanted to give you some more background in case you go to see the movie, or you already saw the movie and you're like, what the hell's with the mustache? I didn't want Tom Selleck as a vampire. That's jacked up, man. I'm not down with this vampire right here. So basically with that being the case right there, I saw a lot of people saying that on social media, that they were just griping about the mustache and that kind of thing. So and they were just kind of losing their shit about it, or some folks were losing their shit about it. They were just kind of like annoyed by the fact that he had a mustache right there, and so that was something that really bothered them. And hey, we see Lindy Rig here up in the show right there, and Twilight is the only vampire movie he watches. Totally not gay, except totally gay there. So yeah, that's a Twilight. Yeah, that is like the Zima of vampire movies right there. But yes, welcome Lindy Rig to the show. Yeah, it's like that. It's the officially endorsed by Pete Buttigieg vampire movie. That's what those Twilight movies are right there. So it's so yeah, I think that's I think with when you buy Twilight, any vampire movie you get where they basically give you a free 6-pack of Zima right there, you got to wonder about those kind of vampire movies there. But there you go. And Ravage Battle right there, you're on to me, man. You're on to me right there. So, but yeah, I'm but you know what? It doesn't mean I'm Winnie the Poohing it. All right, I'm not doing that. So it's you never know. You never know what. Maybe I'm wearing underoos. I don't know. Maybe I'm wearing some Nosferatu underoos right there. Yeah, try to get that image out of your head there. Right. So, but I teased you guys earlier with the video that I wanted to play right here, and just to kind of, and I like this video. I wanted to play you this video because it's the video that I've seen feature the most like footage of the movie in it, and thus it gives you the best visual evidence of like the fantastic cinematography, the great visuals that Caesar was talking about earlier right here. So let's play this biatch.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Eggers has done it again. One of 2024's most anticipated horror films and movies in general has arrived with Nosferatu. I saw it on Christmas Day and I was blown away. A film that breathes life into the things that I love so much about filmmaking and what it means to experience something great in the cinema. In this video, I'm going to analyze Nosferatu for why it did something so great in adapting the story of the famous vampire Count Orlock. To anyone watching, where do you stand on this movie in terms of how it adapted Nosferatu? And also, what is your favorite Robert Eggers film, including Nosferatu? Let me know down below in the comments. The best thing that I think we should start with is talking about Robert Eggers as a filmmaker. This dude has found a way, yet again, to craft a film that is so uniquely to its own, while pushing back against the boundaries of what it means to craft effective horror. Boundaries that I think are in systems in which the horror genre has failed to recognize or not know how to make a good horror film in the last however many years. Jump scares and lazy stories to make contrived horror narratives is effectively what I mean by that. That kind of stuff is not how you make good horror movies, and we see that too many movies are doing that recently. Nosferatu, in a way, is the exact opposite of that. It's an adaptation of the famous vampire Dracula in a way that leans more heavily into the German tale of it all by using the Nosferatu name. It's a story that has been told many times at this point in many different adaptations, and for the first time in a long time, this particular version is getting another adaptation from what feels like the right director. Eggers does not take this material and use it to make a generic horror film that you've seen a million times before. While yes, it does have a few jump scare-like moments, all of that is done to help craft the story and the characters. Eggers crafts scenes to make you feel a certain way to where almost every scene in its own way has purpose to being in the film and not left out on the cutting room floor. But through that comes arguably the best aspect of the film, which is how Eggers uses all the technical ways of filmmaking to craft the world of Germany in the year 1838. The lighting, cinematography, production design, and on-location shooting resonates so much with making it authentic and lived in. It's all perfection. Say what you will about the kinds of stories Robert Eggers makes movies out of. You cannot deny this dude understands the artistry of making films. He is just a master at his craft. In the horror genre, no one does atmosphere like he does. He's one of the best working filmmakers when it comes to how he uses imagery. I can't stress enough just how vital imagery can be to a horror film when you don't see many other films use it enough, if at all. It's a departure from a studio-like mindset of what it means to make movies in the sense that you might see a more studio-centric film cut corners and cheapen itself on what it's doing to make the film. Stuff that I mentioned already, like the usage of lazy jump scares and whatnot, is an example in the horror genre. Or if it's, say, superhero movies recently, it's all about spectacle over character, rushed CGI over more practical-based looking sets and action. I'm just listing off some stuff to clarify what I mean, but I think you get the point. While I admit the color grading in Nosferatu is far from what most people like to look at, it makes sense to be used here in the film to give you an idea of the bleakness a story like Nosferatu brings. Which is actually a good transition to talking about said story, because what I want most people to realize is that this movie is not for everyone. I'm not going to give specific spoilers to things that happen, but just know that it would not surprise me if this became Robert Eggers' most divisive film yet. As of the moment of me making this video, the cinema score for the film has come out and it is at a B-. In no way does that shock me at all. I can tell you the exact reasons as to why that is. Fans of Robert Eggers and his films will probably adore Nosferatu, but casual audiences will take more convincing, which is why that cinema score is as low as it is. I know there are people out there who don't take that metric into consideration at all, and that's totally fine. I'm just pointing it out. Nosferatu is an extremely gothic and erotic horror thriller about a vampire that means to make you uncomfortable, but also laugh at a few points unintentionally. No joke, several scenes gave my audience at the theater a chuckle. The very last scene also had a few people laughing right as the credits started rolling, and maybe that was by design, but I'm not quite sure. But with that point aside, what I'm saying is that some audience members need to expect that this is not the kind of movie that they think it is. This is not a movie about a vampire going around biting necks off. It is way different. It is very Shakespearean in its nature with the dialogue, but also the tones, of which there are many. That might turn some people off, but Robert Eggers finds a way to craft it expertly. The tones vary from horrifying, humorous, to even something that is extremely sexual, hence why so many people will call it erotic. At many points throughout, it does feel like characters will just straight up want to start having sex with each other, and at times it works, and at others it can come off as again being funny, but perhaps not intentionally. All of this, of course, is based around the character and villain of the movie, which is Count Orlock, played by the great Bill Skarsgard. At this point, what more even needs to be said about Bill as an actor? My guy can literally do anything that he sets his mind to. He is unrecognizable as the famous vampire. At no point did I ever think to myself that I would recognize the actor playing that character if I hadn't known who it was beforehand. And what's so funny about that is that actually comes from one of my only flaws with the movie, and that is that I don't think the design of Nosferatu is as menacing and terrifying as people are making it seem. When the first trailer came out, they didn't show his face, and for me, that made it to be perfect of not knowing how much more scary it would be had they seen his face. Even with my qualms about that aspect of it, the performance is what shines the most. Skarsgård is really at this point making the case for why people should consider him as one of the top 10 best working actors right now. I don't know how many more iconic horror characters there are that he could play, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I want him to keep doing it, because right now, he's just the best at it. Just as a quick point, I do hope that Robert Eggers at some point in the future brings in Stellan Skarsgård to be in one of his films, now that he has worked with Bill Skarsgård and Alexander Skarsgård as the two sons of that big family of actors. Moving off of Bill Skarsgård though, this most certainly does not take away from the fact that the rest of the cast is also just as stellar as he is. Lily-Rose Depp, the daughter of Johnny Depp, is a star in the making with this performance. Without a doubt, it is the best one in the film, dramatically, but also physically. She goes to lengths of which a certain actor might not go to, but she does it all here. She throws herself at every possible acting task that she is given, and I'm thoroughly impressed by what she brought, given this is the first time I've actually ever seen her in anything. Her and Naomi Scott are two of the best horror performances of the year so far, and yet it sucks a lot that neither will be recognized at the awards shows because of the genre of film that they acted in, which is horror. Nicholas Hoult as the male lead is amazing as well. My man is having a great year so far, and this was a good way for him to end off 2024. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Emma Corrin, Ralph Ineson, and the great Willem Dafoe are fantastic as more of the side cast. Each and every character brings it, and that is something that you just love to see. Even a performance from the actor Simon McBurney might come out to be the most underrated performance for a lot of people, as he plays an insanely violent and crazy person who in a way serves as an important role that goes unnoticed at times. All in all, what is it exactly that I think you all should be taking away from this film? For me personally, it all comes down to Robert Eggers as the central component to it all. Even if this film for you personally does not fit the vibe that you were looking for, you cannot deny that it was made with the utmost care for wanting to come out as a really great film. Robert Eggers and the rest of the cast in this film do an incredible job at building the world of this premise to come off the page in a way that feels authentic and real. It's a horror movie that, while moving off of some of the more conventional studio-like horror films in how they are made, it is a shining example as to how most, if not all, should be done for the future. The style of Robert Eggers is not something that necessarily needs to be copied for each new horror film, but his movies should be shown to better understand what it's supposed to feel like. While I think that the movie is not perfect and had a few flaws, I absolutely respect it in a way that finds itself being one of 2024's best on a technical level that inspires me to want to keep following a filmmaker like Robert Eggers in whatever he does for the future. So there you have it. That's my commentary on 2024's Nosferatu. This is probably going to be the last film that I see in theaters as far as...
All right, so just wanted to play that just so that you could see again, if you've seen the movie or if you haven't seen the movie before, then you could, check out the great cinematography, the great visuals in this right here, because this isn't like just some cookie cutter, just paint by numbers movie that you see all too often. Like, 9 out of 10 movies don't look like this. They're basically just, they bust out like, it's like most movies are like processed food or like TV dinners, they just bust out the same kind of cinematography, the same kind of LUTs, the same kind of color grading, the same kind of lighting, all that stuff. And it just looks the same, and it just blends in with the boring old crowd. Where every once in a while you'll get somebody like Denis Villeneuve or Robert Eggers or Christopher Nolan that actually gives a fuck about like how good their movie looks, okay, and they're not just phoning it in. And occasionally you get a great movie like Nosferatu, or Dune Part 2 or Oppenheimer, those kind of movies. And so I just wanted to show you, hey, you know what, Nosferatu definitely fits within that bill right there. So, and you know what, I can't talk about Nosferatu without mentioning Lily-Rose Depp, okay? She's captivating. I mean, with her convincing anguish pleas with Thomas, her husband in this movie, played by Nicholas Hoult. I mean, she really does a good job with her facial expressions and just with the cadence of her voice, and like her lips are trembling and her eyes just have this very convincing desperation look to them, and where she's begging, like, Thomas, don't go meet Count Orlock, don't go to Transylvania, don't leave me, okay? This is gonna end up very, very bad for us, all right? Or in her scenes where she's portraying a woman that's tortured by an evil connection that she didn't expect, because at the beginning of the movie, the movie starts out with showing her, she's got this pitch black background, and there's like this bluish kind of color grading on her, and she's praying, she's praying for someone to connect to her, to someone to be with her, to talk to her. And little does she know that someone did receive that message, and it wasn't, it wasn't a little My Buddy toy, it wasn't a little Teddy Ruxpin, it wasn't some Cabbage Patch doll that got that connection and heard her pleas, for someone to reach out to her. No, it just happened to be basically this demon straight from the pit of hell by the name of Count Orlock, a Nosferatu right there. And so, because that is the connection she made there, unintentionally, she's possessed, she's linked with this guy, with this creature, with this demon, and because of that, she has to go through all these motions, the contorting of her body she does as being possessed by Count Orlock, and the way she does her body contortions, it would make Linda Blair in The Exorcist very, very proud. Okay, so she's not quite doing that thing where she like walks backwards on all fours down the stairs like a spider. And I don't think that was Linda Blair doing that. Okay, but that's why she's a stunt woman. But nothing quite like that. But it's some very freaky, deaky body contortions, and not the hot, sexy, kind of body contortions, that all the dudes are like, whoa, imagine what she could do in bed. Huh? No, not those hot, sexy, erotic body contortions. These are the body contortions of evil, okay? And she gives her all to this role. And I could see her at least, getting some award nominations for this. I could see her getting some Oscar love in the form of a nomination, or, at least like, the Golden Globes, the People's Choice Awards, if they're even doing those awards anymore there. And so, yeah, she's doing a good job at following in her old man's footsteps, because her old man is Johnny Depp. Dear old dad, Johnny Depp, has got to be proud of his daughter, Lily-Rose Depp. And, she another way that she's following in her dad's footsteps is she's doing, a Gothic style movie like Johnny Depp did multiple times with Tim Burton. Okay. And Edward Scissorhands and Sleepy Hollow and all these different Gothic movies that her dad did with Tim Burton. And it's pretty damn, and it works just great with her in this movie right there. Okay, so she's gonna get some. I think she's gonna get some love. Okay, because everything that I've seen her do up until now, I've been like, what the hell is this Nepo baby? How is she getting work? This Johnny Depp Nepo baby. But now I saw her in this, like, all right, she's bringing it. All right, she ain't fucking around. All right, she's all right. Okay, there you go. Love it. And Ravage Battle, you preacheth the trutheth right there. Zendaya is cringe. Yes. Zendaya is basically like Hollywood's version of Fetch from Mean Girls, right? Like stop trying to make Fetch a thing. Like stop trying to make Zendaya a thing here. I think that she is just an actress where some power brokers in Hollywood just got together like, all right, we're Zendaya. She's a thing now. We are going to make her a thing. We are going to shove Zendaya down everybody's throats. All right. She is going to be a thing. All right. And there's probably like much more talented actresses out there that aren't getting the chance that Zendaya is getting right there in Ravage Battle. Ask another ask a question that is only a question in the last 20, 30 years. Okay, so, what is a woman? For all of human history, we never had to ask that question, but in these supposedly more sophisticated, enlightened times, we have to ask, what is a woman there? So, yep, exactly. Yeah, Zendaya is a manufactured movie star here. Well, she's not really a movie star, but they're trying to make her a movie star. So, but a lot of times she's like the worst thing in a movie, like the Dune movies. I love the Dune movies, but there's only one turd in the whole Dune punch bowl, and that turd has a name, and that turd's name is Zendaya there. So now the first Dune wasn't so bad because I don't think Zendaya had about 6 words in the first Dune movie, and then unfortunately in Dune Part 2, they gave her more lines. Oh, God. What are you going to do there? All right. Well, hey, are you guys thirsty? I know I'm thirsty. Okay. So, because I hope you guys are drinking over here. And I know that we've got one of the proud members of the live chat drinking some liquid death. And I know I'm rocking some brewski over here. But it's time for brew review time there, y'all. Let's do it. All right, and today's special brew is Shiner Sea Salt and Lime right there. Yeah, no, not short bus special. Okay, you don't see a helmet on this. I mean, it had a cap on it earlier, but no helmet right there, and it's not running the short bus there, and it doesn't like Twilight movies. So yeah, it's not the short bus crew. It's not the short bus kind of special. It's just a special beer here. And this comes to us out of Shiner, Texas right there. So yes, don't mess with Texas beer. All right, just drink it. Don't mess with it. Okay. And this is, brewed with actually a couple of types of malts right there. You got some 2-row malt, wheat malt. You got, it's brewed with Citra hops, and it's got a lager yeast. So it's using all of that to brew up some sea salt and lime. And of course, the advantage of drinking a beer like this is, if you're drinking like some regular Shiner or some other lager, and you're putting a lime on the rim and some salt and all that. Well, with this, you don't have to do that because it's got the lime and the salt in the beer. Okay, so I mean, just so convenient, all right there. So thank God for those good beer brewing folks down in Shiner, Texas, right there. Okay, and it's a 4% alcohol by volume, so it's not going to knock you on your ass or anything like that. It's not going to make Zendaya attractive. Okay, but you can drink a whole lot of that, a lot of these, and it might make Zendaya attractive. You never know. All right. But and it's got like 10. It's like a 10 on the IBU scale there. IBU stands for International Bitterness Units. Basically, the measure of the unit of measurement. Yeah, unit of measurement that basically measures how much you're gonna pucker your lips when you drink this right here. But enough of me yapping about it. I'm gonna take a tug off this bad boy. Excellent. And it goes pretty good, I would imagine, with some enchiladas, or, you're out there on the dance floor with some hot mamacita doing some salsa dancing. You could probably do a whole lot worse than, cool down those flames with a little Shiner sea salt and lime right there. And, this is not the most obscure beer I've ever reviewed on here. So yeah, you'll probably be able to get this, at your grocery store or something like that. And first off, I'm not getting any money from Shiner, okay? Because I started feeling like I was like some pitch man, some shill for Shiner. It just kind of flows. Shill for Shiner. Shiner shill. Hey, Shiner, if you want me to be a Shiner shill and pay me 6 figures a year, I will happily do that, okay? So hopefully they're watching. But there you go. But I am not a shill for now, okay? But I'm recommending this here. But yeah, so or if you live in some one stoplight town and you don't have any Shiner in your town right there, well, you can go on like open bar. It's an app on your phone, or Uber Eats. Uber Eats will deliver booze to your domicile there, to your casa. Okay. All right. But all right, let's wrap up this Shiner Sea Salt and Lime Brew review time. All right, let's check that live chat right there, because we have got all kinds of frenetic kinetic. It's like a mosh pit down there, all right? It's like they're at a friggin' they're at a Slayer concert, or Helmet concert or something like that, and they're moshing over there. So like a bunch of dudes that are a little too comfortable, like banging into each other and all that stuff. Like you got to wonder about those guys. Like, I can't wait to get into the mosh pit. I want to touch a bunch of other dudes. All right. Well, I just pissed off a bunch of our heavy metal crew here up in the show, watching the show right now. So, yeah, right here. What do we got? Yeah, she could have Scarlett Johansson her way to the top. No, yeah, you never know. Scarlett Johansson. Now she's got some good acting chops, and Scarlett Johansson has a couple of massive reasons why I do like her as an actress right there. But anyway, and by massive reasons, I mean like, acting timing and voice projection. That's totally what I mean. Yeah. All right. So, and Ravage Battle. Yep. You speak the truth again. Don't mess with Tejas there, and drinking a Three Floyds gumball head. Three Floyds. All right. Yes, I am familiar with that brand right there. And Lindy Rig. Yep. There you go. Showing us again why he is the gayest guy in the live chat tonight right there. Because he's the Twilight fan out here. So, and Van Tugging It is my favorite part of anything ever. Right there. Appreciate that. So much love to you, Lindy Rig. Not that kind of love, though. Not the Pete Buttigieg, Harry Sisson kind of love. Not that. No. Not. I got a disclaimer that in this day and age, you really got to point that out there. So, all right. What else we got here? And Scarlett Johansson sleeps her way to the top. Shiner shield for shekels. I like that. I like the good, the alliteration. Shiner shield for shekels. Shiner shield for shekels. That's like a good vocal, like a warming up exercise. If you're like, doing what I'm doing, you're talking and talking and talking, for hours and hours and hours. You got to loosen up the old vocal cords. Right there. So you just keep saying, Shiner shield for shekels. Shiner shield for shekels. Shiner shield for shekels. And there you go. All right. And yeah, Pete and Harry are more feminine than a lot of dudes. Yeah, I mean, have you ever checked out those videos? Well, it's not Pete and Harry, but there might be a video of Pete and Harry dancing with each other. But you got Harry and that other British cigarette dancing together. There, like every single time they manufacture some kind of Democrat win, and then they start dancing with each other, and kind of they look a little too lady and a tramp with each other. So what's that? The Chris Mowry? Is that the other guy? Yeah, Chris Mowry and Harry Sisson, and yeah, they're just out there just. Yeah, being their gayest selves, just dancing with each other like a couple of sorority chicks, just dancing, to the latest. Who's the hot one right now? I don't know, freaking. I was trying to think of like some young female pop star, but since I don't listen to that shit, I can't think of anybody. There you go. So Lindy Rig, help me out with that. I know you know the hot gay lady pop star songs right there. So help me out. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. And I wonder why. Well, I keep losing viewers right there because Sabrina Carpenter. There you go. Yeah, I knew you would deliver right there. You said if they're dancing around like a couple of sorority girls just having a good time listening to some Sabrina Carpenter. There you go. And a lot of people are like, you did that gay voice a little too well there, Van. No, not at all. Not this guy. Hey, Mr. Scott Awesome with the $1 Rumble rant here. Bringing it with the $1 there. Throw a coin to local movie reviewer. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Scott Awesome right here. All right. I'm just, working hard in the movie reviewing salt mines. All right. Like I'm over here. I'm whistling while I work, I'm busting my pickaxe and going to the old movie review salt mines to put in a hard day's work right there. So, yeah, I don't think it's too much to throw a buck my way. And thank you there, Mr. Scott Awesome. And you know what? A drink to that. Oh, yeah. I slave over a hot movie reviewing stove all day long, and you come home and you don't get me any love. See, there you go. See, I can sound pathetic, but I really have to work at it because I'm naturally so awesome. Not as awesome as Mr. Scott Awesome. That dude actually has the word awesome in his name. I can't claim that. But but I'm close. I'm very, very close. But not up to Mr. Scott Awesome's level of pure awesomeness right there. All right. Let's do this here real quick here because I want to entice you guys and let you guys know that you guys can get some sweet merch over here. Yes, you can get some sweet Movies Merica merch. Okay. And I think I might have to get me some Movies Merica merch because Mr. Scott Awesome gave me $1. And I'm $1 closer to getting some Movies Merica merch, like a Movies Merica t-shirt that you see up there at the top left. And you can get it in other colors other than black, okay? You can get it in pink, for, some of the folks here up in the live chat. There in gray and blue and all that stuff. So you pick the color, it'll come to you, okay? But, if you've already got a Movies Merica t-shirt and you still want to, class up your joint with some Movies Merica merch, get yourself like, some Movies Merica shot glasses or a Movies Merica phone case or yoga pants or whatever. Okay. So go nuts, go crazy. Maybe a Movies Merica camping tent or something. I mean, it could be in there. I don't know. I scroll through all the Movies Merica merch and I'm like, I'm even amazed myself like what we have in there. Like, holy shit, what? My God. A Movies Merica Holy Grail? Holy shit, like what the hell? And the customers have been pleased. Okay, we got a lot of Movies Merica fans that bought the Movies Merica Holy Grail, and they de-aged by about 50 years. They're young dudes and gals now. So there you go. So I don't think that's too much to ask to get yourself some Movies Merica merch. And we're making it very easy for you because all you got to do is click on the Movies Merica merch link down in the description right there. And we're going even further. If you put in promo code MOVIES, you get free shipping. Yeah. Take that, Bezos. All right. We're right on your tail, Bezos. All right. Pretty soon, Till Death Podcast Network, we're going to be the ones with the 747s flying all over the place, delivering shit for people right there. Absolutely. So we're right there. We're on the cusp. But get yourself some Movies Merica merch right there. All right. Let's check it all. And hey, we got Sketchy Jesus up in here saying, sup, y'all. There you go. Welcome, man. Thanks for making things extra sketchy here in the show there. And and check out his show right there. We've got the Till Death Podcast coming on every other Saturday afternoon. And then, of course, the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. Again, geez, man, I had too many shiners. That wild and wacky show you guys see every Monday and Wednesday nights and every other Tuesday. And I'm sure that that show is going to come back bigger and badder this year right there. It's going to come out swinging for 2025, that's for sure. So, no, not the kind of swinging where you have like penguins or Again, what is it? Flamingos? Is that what the swingers put out in the front of their house? The flamingos? Not that kind of swinging, okay? Not at all. But who knows? If that's the wrong kind of swing, if that is the kind of swinging we're talking about, Sketchy Jesus, let me know. Maybe that is the kind of swinging you guys are talking about there. But all right, and Ravage Battle right there. Yes, exactly. Feeling the love from Ravage Battle, TDPN for life, yo. Exactly. But hey, you know what? Prove it, everybody. Prove that it's TDPN for life. Okay. Get yourself a TDPN for life tattoo, all right? And then, hey, if you get a TDPN for life tattoo and you show us, like, you show us a video of it there, then you know what? I'm gonna get you like a $5 off Wendy's coupon there. So there you go. I mean, that's how generous I am. That's how generous that I am right there. So. All right, let's talk about some more Nosferatu. All right, let's get in here. Let's embrace the suck of this vampire episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning. And another standout in this movie is Willem Dafoe. Yes, Willem Dafoe. Like, hey, I'm kind of a scientist myself. There you go. It's the Green Goblin himself there. So yes, Norman Osborn from Spider-Man right there, but he's not Norman Osborn. He's not the Green Goblin in this. He plays Von Franz, okay? So, and he's not the guy that's like, I'm here to pump you up. No, not those guys. It's not the Hans and Franz. It's Von Franz. He's like the Van Helsing type character in this movie right here, because Nosferatu, you'll know, like, the plot's pretty close to Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's got characters that resemble the characters of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Instead of Mina, and who's the other one? Who's Keanu Reeves? Got Mina and Jonathan Harker. You got Van Helsing. You've got Quincy. You've got all the characters that Renfield. All the characters from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Well, you have like equivalent characters to those characters in Nosferatu, just with different names, okay? And so in Nosferatu, the Van Helsing type character is named Von Franz, and he's played by Willem Dafoe here. And Willem Dafoe, he just brings some quirkiness and manic energy into the movie. Now, he's not quite as manic as, remember when Anthony Hopkins played Van Helsing in Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 1992 movie there, and Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing. Kind of added some levity to the movie, and like the scene where he's sitting there, he's at dinner with Keanu and Winona Ryder, and he's Keanu Reeves, I think, asked him like, "Hey, how do we destroy these vampires and whatnot?" He's like, "Oh, we drive a stake to their heart and cut off their head," and of course that's supposed to be a laugh line. In the movie, Keanu Reeves like, "Doctor," like he's just like, "It's grossed out. We're trying to eat dinner here," in that terrible, that lousy English accent that Keanu tried to do in that movie back in the day. But Willem Dafoe playing Von Franz, he provides the only and very rare subtle chuckle-inducing lines there, because no one's going to call Nosferatu a comedy whatsoever, but. There are a few lines like this one. Like he says, "I have seen things that would make Sir Isaac Newton crawl back into his mother's womb." Like, kind of mildly funny lines that might kind of make you chuckle in that. And then he's the only one that knows like what the best chance solution to beat Count Orlock is, right? I mean, you find out that he is making plans with Thomas. And then who's the other character right there? The like Friedrich Harding is the other character. He's like Thomas's best friend. Oh, and then Doctor the doctor played by Ralph Ineson. They're making some kind of plan to kill Count Orlock, of going to Count Orlock's residence there in the town and driving a stake through his heart, right? Finding his coffin and driving a stake through his heart. But then Von Franz is kind of, taking Helen to the side, and he's like, "I'll level with you. I know that the only way we have the only chance we have to beat Count Orlock is you have to you have to entice him. You have to lure him to basically to your room or to where you're at, right? And you're gonna have to like keep him there long enough to where the sun's gonna kill him, right? Like that's really the only way, because he doesn't have faith that Count Orlock's just gonna be laying there in his friggin' coffin, just waiting for someone to stake him right to the heart, right? And that's the thing about Dafoe. Interestingly enough, this is not his first vampire movie. I mean, Dafoe actually played Nosferatu in another movie, okay, called Shadow of the Vampire, and that movie that was all about the filming of the first movie Nosferatu. I was mentioning it before, the first Nosferatu movie that came out in 1922. Well, they came out with like a movie called Shadow of the Vampire, where John Malkovich plays F.W. Murnau, the director of that 1922 Nosferatu movie there. And then Willem Dafoe plays a guy that he's not playing Nosferatu in the original Nosferatu movie. He is a Nosferatu. He's a real vampire. And people that are on the crew, on the film crew of that Nosferatu movie back in 1922, they start disappearing. And of course, F.W. Murnau's like, what's going on? And then people are like wondering, like, is Nosferatu like Max Schreck? Max Schreck was the actor's name, but they're wondering, like, is Max Schreck, is he really a vampire? Because I don't know, like, the old Max was hanging out with old Stanley last night, and now Stanley's gone, and he was hanging out with with Carol the other night, and now Carol's gone. What's going on? So there's a whole Shadow of the Vampire movie where Willem Dafoe plays this vampire, the actor Max Schreck there, and he apparently really likes vampire movies because he also was in Daybreakers. That's another vampire movie, and then of course now he's in Nosferatu there. So it's he's just all over the place. He loves himself some vampires, and who can blame him there? Who can blame him? Jesus. No, I have no pineapples in my front yard there. All right, there you go. So you're one of the more subtle swingers there. Okay, you're not trying to like advertise it. I get it. So and just watching me tug it right there. Got to do it right there. So yep, and there we go. Just want to check in real quick. Got to mute it as I don't want things spoiled. Yep, you definitely understand that right there. I don't want to be that guy that spoils things for you. And he's doing what I always ask people to do is, obviously the show is the spoilery version of my movie reviews and movie discussions, that kind of thing. But I always ask, like, at least fire up the show like on your phone or maybe a laptop you have in the back room or something like that, and then just mute it. Like, just mute it so that that you're helping me out, because it shows that you're watching the show, or you're watching the show there. But YouTube and Rumble, they don't know the difference, right? But you're not getting the movie spoiled for yourself because you've got it muted right there. So it's a zero cost way to support this guy right over here. Okay, there you go. And I appreciate Sketchy Jesus joining us over here. And what we got? Anyone catch that episode of the Antique Roadshow where they showed a vampire killer kit from like the 1800s? Holy shit! I did not see that, but that is badass right there, man. So was it like it was like a leather, like kind of a leather satchel, a leather bag, and it had like wooden stakes and shit, and like a bottle you keep holy water in, and maybe another pouch for some garlic and shit. I want to hear all about this, Mr. Scott Awesome, right there. I want to check that out. And Lindy Rig, yeah, definitely. You do not lie. Willem Dafoe looks like a vampire, especially like back in the 80s, like in his earlier roles when he was like in Streets of Fire and To Live and Die in L.A. I mean, hell, he even looked like a vampire when he was in Platoon. I was watching Platoon. I was like, holy shit, is that like a vampire out there smoking some fucking Viet Cong over there? What the hell? Is that a vampire? Like, popping smoke, for the choppers and the hot LZ? What the hell? Okay, he's going to die. It's sunny out there in Vietnam. That vampire is going to freaking going to burn up. What the hell? What's going on? All right, so let's do this here real quick and just remind you guys of our tdpn.locals.com website up there. Yes, tdpn.locals.com. That's our Till Death Podcast Network website where we have all our great content like videos and blogs and articles about all kinds of things like movies and TV, or movies and entertainment, I should say. Cocktail recipes. If you love booze, come over to the website and get yourself some cocktail recipes. You got politics. You got hot button topics of the day. You got music. You name it. You're going to find it at tdpn.locals.com right there. And as you see down below right there, if you put in promo code TDPN, you get 1 month free membership, y'all. Okay, so you can be a tdpn.locals.com VIP, all right? Sitting up in the VIP lounge, getting the bottle service, popping champagne with all the smoking hot waitresses providing bottle service. Yes, and you're sitting there and you're looking at the dance floor like, oh, you losers. You can be sitting up here in the VIP lounge over here at tdpn.locals.com like me. But you're not, you losers, all right? But you don't have to stay a loser. You can just go to tdpn.locals.com, put in promo code TDPN, and you can not be a loser for at least a month for free. And then if you want to continue not being a loser, then it's just a minimum of $3 a month, okay? And that's all, okay? I would say you can't put a price on not being a loser, but that would be a lie. We put a price at $3 at not being a loser here at Till Death Podcast Network. All right, so check it out right there. Check it out. Don't sleep on that. All right, you hesitate, you masturbate right there. Okay, so not that I know from experience or anything like that. No, not at all. Not at all. At whatsoever. Not at all. I wouldn't ever do that whatsoever.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
Oh yeah, I know. I heard you. Okay, come on. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about Nosferatu, man, because I love me some Nosferatu here. And I want to talk about this guy named Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, you guys may have heard of Nicholas Hoult there. Okay, he's having a banger of a year. Okay, he was just in Juror number 2, that Clint Eastwood movie. Now he's in this. He's going to be Lex Luthor, coming up later on this year in the new Superman movie. He was in another vampire movie, last year or the year before, Renfield, there with Nicolas Cage, playing Dracula. He was a young beast in X-Men First Class and X-Men Day of Future Past and all that. I remember first time I ever saw Nicholas Hoult is he played the little boy in the About a Boy movie with Hugh Grant. There was a great movie. Okay, it came out like in 2000 or something like that, and Hugh Grant is in there like this well-off dude, and he's well off because his dad wrote this Christmas jingle that became a big hit, and so he's living off the royalties of this big Christmas hit. And basically this little kid takes a liking to him and wants Hugh Grant to be a father figure and that kind of thing. And Hugh Grant's basically using this kid to basically pick up single moms, like, oh yeah, this is my son right here, yeah, my son right there, yeah, hey, let's go bang, right? Because you've got a child, I've got a child, let's do it. Like, and so Nicholas Hoult was like, the little boy being used in that. And that was like, yeah, back in 99, 2000, and here we are with Nicholas Hoult, being a grown man, being a grown dude, holding his own in movies right there. So, little tickle in my throat right there. So, and no, not from that, guys. So I got to take care of that. All right. It's what beer is for right there. Absolutely. But I thought Nicholas Hoult was pretty good as Thomas. So he's the husband of Helen. He's the one, basically, he's like the Jonathan Harker character played by Keanu Reeves. In the Bram Stoker's Dracula movie right there. Well, in Bram Stoker's Dracula, the character's name is Jonathan Harker. In this one, it's Thomas. Okay, so Thomas Huddle or something like that. Anyway, and he basically is the guy that goes to Transylvania to Castle Orlock, I guess in this case, not Castle Dracula, Castle Orlock, to have the Count sign the property papers to buy the property in this case, to buy the property in Germany. Now, in Dracula, he's buying what the hell's it called? It's in London. Carfax Abbey. That's it. Carfax Abbey. So he's buying Carfax Abbey in London and Dracula. Pardon me. So, but in Nosferatu, he's buying some property in some German town. Okay. And so Thomas goes to his castle, has him sign his forms. The Count's like fucking with him, draining his blood, all that stuff. And so he's that character, basically. And now his standout scene in this is where he masterfully plays like this kind of sheepish, kind of nervous, awkward character that is intimidated by Count Orlock, because right away Count Orlock is this imposing, terrifying figure who's just laying down the law. He's even telling Thomas to call him Lord, okay? And Thomas, like, right on cue, like, just right off the bat, like, okay, I'll call you my lord. Okay, hey, can you sign this document, my lord? Hey, can I have some more wine, my lord? Like, he's just doing all that shit, right? And he goes from being that nervous, intimidated guy in the scene, and then in the same scene, transitioning masterfully to somebody that is just terrified beyond belief, to the point that he's in tears, all in this one scene right there. He just knocks it out of the park in this. And you can feel the dread, the regret, and the horror he feels, because it's just shown on this skilled actor's face, like just the way that his eyes, he's acting with his eyes, his lips are quivering, he's sweating. He just looks petrified, okay? So, basically that face I make, like when I, take a big dump on somebody's house, and I realize, holy shit, there's no toilet paper. Ah! Basically that face that I make in that situation, right? That's what Nicholas Hoult, that's his face in that scene right there. Very, very convincing right there, okay? And, and then, like, up to the point, that of the scene that I was talking about right there, in his voyage to meet Count Orlock, he's felt trepidation. He's been cautious. He's had this feeling of dread, like, he's got all these people telling him, like, don't go, don't go to the castle, don't go to the Count, because he gets to this Romanian or Transylvanian village, with all these gypsies in there, and they're like, don't go to the castle, don't do it, and so he's been warned. He's got this feeling of trepidation, and then now, suddenly in this one scene, it's been horrifically revealed, in the form of a demon of pure murderous evil. The very reason that these people were telling him don't go up to the castle, right there. And so he's basically, it's that oh shit moment. Like, I should have listened to everybody. I just had to go to this castle to get these papers signed right here. And now, because I wouldn't listen to him, now it's my ass over here. This guy's sucking blood out of me right now. He's sicking wolves on me and shit. What the hell, man? What the hell? I should have listened to my gut. All right. My God, what was I thinking, man? Okay. All right, let's do this here real quick here. I want to tell you guys about something here, but let me check the live chat here. I want to make sure that I am not missing some genius right here, because I'm sure there's plenty of genius in here. So in here, that's for sure. No James Woods, not in this movie here. So yeah, he's for some reason Hollywood doesn't want to hire him anymore. I can't imagine why there. So and yeah, I see a mention of a Lars von Trier's movie Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. Yeah, that isn't a movie. That is not a movie that you just watch, just for kicks. And hey man, let's have the dudes over. Let's pop a keg and watch some Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. Hey, buddy, come on over. Like, that is not that kind of movie whatsoever there. And this is got to be a story that's never been told before. Vietnam Vampire Wars, starring Willem Dafoe and Tom Selleck. Directed by Michael Bay. Yes, coming this Christmas. I dig it. A story that's never been told. So what would we call that movie? Vietnam Vampire Wars, Vampire Kong, I don't know, Ho Chi Minh, Bloody, I don't know, yeah, Bloody Violence, something like that. Whoever's got the best title for that, man, do your worst with the title of that movie right there. I'd love to see how good you guys can do that. And yeah, there we go. There you go. Me bite you long time. Sucky. American GI, so sexy. Me bite you long time. Dig it. Yeah, there you go. The Crying Game with Forrest Pfizer Whitaker. Yeah, exactly. He was Pfizer's first victim way back in the day right there. It's like, yeah, Forrest Whitaker's got that eyeball that resembles like the light bulb that keeps like flickering off and on over here to the in another room that I see right there. So yep, there you go. It's he had one of those Pfizer strokes, and his eyeball has never been the same right there. So never been the same. Because if I remember right, Forrest Whitaker's eyes were normal, when he played the football player and back in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? Weren't his eyes normal? And then he got that booster shot, sometime between Fast Times at Ridgemont High and The Color of Money, and his eyes just never been the same ever since. Right there. So, all right. What should we do right now? Oh, there we go. There. I got to let you guys know about this great sponsor that we have going on right here. I mean, it's a fantastic sponsor, and that is Flip City Magazine. And right now, the question you should be asking yourself, if you don't already know, is what is Flip City Magazine? I've got to know. All right. And well, I will tell you. Okay. So it will not be a mystery for much longer. So Flip City Magazine is the more than worthy replacement for Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. Because remember, like back in the day, you could depend on picking up Mad Magazine with Alfred E. Newman, and you get a couple of good giggles, couple of good laughs. You're having a shit day. Your old lady's on your ass, or your boss is on your ass. You're just stressing out, right? You just need some relaxation, and you're still waiting in the lobby at the massage parlor for the rub and tuck, and you can't wait for that, for some stress relief. And I'd be like, hey, there's some Mad Magazine on the coffee table here at the massage parlor there. I'll check that out. So you get a good giggle, right? Well, unfortunately, Mad Magazine and Crack Magazine, they allowed themselves to get assimilated into the woke Borg, and so they're not so much into the making you giggle business anymore. They're in the we're going to teach you how to live the woke lifestyle, young man business, but not Flip City Magazine. Okay, so they are here to make you laugh, to giggle your ass, all right, to make a little pee come out of you because you're laughing too hard. But enough about hearing from me about Flip City. Let's hear it straight from them.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
All right. So, yes, you have no excuse if you haven't already subscribed to Flip City because we are putting the Flip City link in the description down below. We're not putting it. It's already down there in the description. So, yeah, click on that Flip City link in the description and get put the promo code movies in there. Okay, so make sure you put that promo code movies because that is going to get you 10% off your order of the best non-woke comic around. All right, so and you know what, just to show you that I am not pulling your leg, y'all, I got me some Flip City right there. Yeah, look at that. So sweet, so choice. All right, look at that. I know you're jealous, aren't you? If you don't have your own Flip City, I know you're jealous. You can't contain your envy. I know it. All right. So look at that artwork right there. I love it. And look at the gleam and the shine. Ooh, look at that. I know. I got one and you don't. So yeah, grab yourself some Flip City and just check out some great stuff in here. We got some great comics there. Looks like we got articles, got jokes, all kinds of good stuff up in this magazine right up here, y'all. So grab it, all right? No, the magazine. Grab the magazine, all right? So don't do anything disgusting and depraved and all that stuff. That's my job, not yours, okay? So, but yeah, get yourself some Flip City magazine, y'all. Do it now, all right? So don't sleep on that offer. Do it. And to that, I'm going to take a little drinky over here. So, and you guys should too as well. So there you go. Maybe who in the live chat? Who's doing shots right now? Who's doing shots? Like who's manning up or who's like, I don't know. Women do shots too. So yeah, there you go. But anyway, enough of me yapping. I'm just gonna drink. Oh yeah, there we go. Yes. I think I ate like too many grape nuts earlier because I feel like I've got like some tickle in the back of my throat right here. Like there's like a little grape nut just sticking in the back of my throat. It's driving me crazy as I'm trying to talk over here. But you know what? You got to play hurt, man. Sometimes you got to play hurt. All right, you got to man the fuck up. You got to grab your nuts and you got to play hurt sometimes there. So, and oh, yeah, let's check out the live chat. Make sure that I'm not leaving anybody out right there. And, yeah, Robo Homie the Clown. Robo Homie the Clown does play that shit. Yep, exactly. So, hey, Julie Forrest 380, welcome to the show right there. Loves Forrest Whitaker and also the movie The Crying Game. Yes, yeah, Forrest Whitaker, man. He's got a very varied. I gotta come up with some better word usage. Very eclectic. There we go. There you go. I went to Harvard, y'all. Eclectic. There you go. Eclectic career right there. I mean, because he was a good, it was a good kind of. You could have matched wits with Paul Newman in The Color of Money in that scene. Remember, he was in The Color of Money, basically hustling Paul Newman. He was hustling the hustler. Okay, in Color of Money. He's also great. He's like in one season of the TV series The Shield. Forrest Whitaker is awesome in that. What's that other one that he's in? I always forget the one where he plays like the samurai master. I want to say Black Dog, but it's not Black Dog. That's Patrick Swayze right there. But the samurai master Forrest Gump. What the hell? The samurai master Forrest Whitaker movie there. So. Yeah, he's very, very good. Oh, well, he's also good. Did you win the Academy Award for that? Where he played Idi Amin in The Last King of Scotland. There he played like the African dictator in the movie The Last King of Scotland with him and James McAvoy right there. So, yeah, Forrest Whitaker, very good actor, absolutely. And damn it, Van, tugging it and talking about nuts tickling your throat. Well, you know what? That would be a special day for other people. I call it Thursday. All right, there you go. And Mr. Scott Awesome, rich and rare peach whiskey here. Whoa, there you go. That sounds absolutely peachy right there. Rich and rare. This guy is coming with the classic booze going on. I like that right there. Very, very classy. And Van and his teabagging over here. Well, prison. It changes a man. It does. All right. I do believe those first 2 years were the hardest for me and Andy Dufresne. The sisters just wouldn't leave us alone. All right. But eventually I crawled, through 3 football fields full of shit that I just couldn't imagine. And hey, I ended up on a beach in Mexico. So there you go. There you go. All right. Ghost Dog. There we go. Ghost Dog. That's what it was. Yeah, we played the modern day samurai. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty good Forrest Whitaker movie there. So fantastic. We got Forrest Whitaker, we got teabagging, we got grape nuts, and we've got Vietnam vampire movies there. Okay, you get everything on this show. That's for sure there. So, all right, let's check out some stuff over here. I want to read the chats there. And you know what? I think it's time for my favorites. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was in Platoon. That's right. Yeah, and it did not end well for him in Platoon right there. Yes, Forrest Whitaker was in Platoon, and along with Johnny Depp. Yeah, he was in there with Johnny Depp there. And yeah, there's some names in there was the lead singer from Living Color. Remember Living Color? You know, Cult of Personality. The cult, like Living Color. What is his name? Corey Glover. Yeah, Corey Glover. Corey Glover was in Platoon. So yeah, you just watch like Platoon nowadays. It's like a like this is like kind of a cavalcade of faces. Also with like Band of Brothers. If you ever watch Band of Brothers, like, hey, that's Michael Fassbender. Hey, it's James McAvoy. Hey, that's Tom Hardy. You know, like all these big time actors that we all know much better in nowadays. We just watch Band of Brothers, like, oh shit, okay, that guy right there. Okay, yeah, who knew? But speaking of like the military and all that, there, I think it's time to get into a little movie military moment, which is my favorite segment of every spoiler warning. Movies Merica spoiler warning right there. So let's kick it off. All right, and so some of you might be newbies. This might be your very first show, right? You might be popping your Movies Merica spoiler warning cherry. You have no idea what the movie military moment is, and more to the point, you have no idea like what connects movies with the military. What is that all about? Like, how do you make that connection right there? Well, I shall tell you there. All right, so as you would imagine. Okay. Well, I should probably mention like what we do here in the movie military moment. What we do is we pay tribute to recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, our proud servicemen and women that have been awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And the movie connection is, as you would imagine, if you win, or don't win, but if you are awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, you had to do something where if you saw it live, your eyes would be popping out of your head, right? You'd be like, oh my God, is this wow, what am I seeing here? Is this a real world? Wow. And because it's gonna be something like, you're fighting in World War II, you're on Iwo Jima, and you're fighting some Japs there, and you're completely out. You have no more ammo left. All you got is like one grenade on you, and you see a Japanese pillbox, and they're about to mow down all your fellow soldiers over there, all your fellow Marines, and you just pull that ring off that grenade, pull the pin off that grenade, and you run to that Japanese pillbox, and you take out all those Japs, including yourself, of course. But you do it. You give it all. Okay, you make the ultimate sacrifice to save your fellow Marines right there. Something like that. Like, so holy shit, like a moment like that. Or you're a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, and you're flying into a hot LZ, and you even got your captain on the radio saying, "Hey, don't you dare land in that hot LZ, or it's too hot." VC, all right, they're basically shooting into the air. They got RPGs and whatnot, and you're like, man, I'm landing this bird in an LZ, man. We got to get the wounded out. We get the ammo and supplies to our troops. Otherwise, they're dead. They're all dead, And so you're just this heroic helicopter pilot, and just rounds are hitting your bird, and you're just getting pummeled and whatnot. You're like just this close, to meeting your maker. And again, seeing something like that on a big movie screen in front of you, all right, that would be a massively entertaining movie military moment, okay? And that's the connection right there. That's the movie That's movie military connection right there. Okay, so there you go. And so we are going to pay homage to one Staff Sergeant Clifford Chester Sims, who fought in Vietnam here, and that's where he took action that got him the Congressional Medal of Honor. And so I believe that the good old Staff Sergeant, he deserves some badass movie military moment music. Don't you think? So yeah, I would agree, and I know you agree. So let's take care of that right now. This is the movie military moment. And in this movie military moment, we pay homage to Staff Sergeant Clifford Chester Sims, who fought for you and for me in Vietnam. And actions in Vietnam got him the Congressional Medal of Honor. And let's find out more about Staff Sergeant Sims, shall we? For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action at the risk of his life, above and beyond the call of duty, Staff Sergeant Sims distinguished himself while serving as a squad leader with Company D. Company D was assaulting a heavily fortified enemy position concealed within a dense wooded area when it encountered strong enemy defensive fire. Once within the woodline, Staff Sergeant Sims led his squad in a furious attack against an enemy force which had pinned down the 1st Platoon and threatened to overrun it. His skillful leadership provided the platoon with freedom of movement and enabled it to regain the initiative. Staff Sergeant Sims was then ordered to move his squad to a position where he could provide covering fire for the company command group and to link up with the 3rd Platoon, which was under heavy enemy pressure. After moving no more than 30 meters, Staff Sergeant Sims noticed that a brick structure in which ammunition was stocked was on fire. Realizing the danger, Staff Sergeant Sims took immediate action to move his squad from this position. Though in the process of leaving the area, 2 members of his squad were injured by the subsequent explosion of the ammunition. Staff Sergeant Sims' prompt actions undoubtedly prevented more serious casualties from occurring. While continuing through the dense woods amidst heavy enemy fire, Staff Sergeant Sims and his squad were approaching a bunker when they heard an unmistakable noise of a concealed booby trap being triggered immediately to their front. Staff Sergeant Sims warned his comrades of the danger and unhesitatingly hurled himself upon the device as it exploded, taking the full impact of the blast. In so protecting his fellow soldiers, he willingly sacrificed his life. Staff Sergeant Sims' extraordinary heroism at the cost of his life is in keeping with the highest traditions of the military service and reflect great credit upon himself and the U.S. Army. And so we salute you, Staff Sergeant Clifford Chester Sims, for your heroic service. And that has been the movie military moment. All right, boy, man, I'm kind of aroused. I'll be quite frank with you. I'm a little aroused right now. I'm a little too excited right there. So yeah, you're excited? Check out these nipples. Name that movie. There you go. But yeah, you guys don't have to wait, for me to do the movie military moment. If you guys want to hear about more heroic servicemen and women here that were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, okay, because you can go to the website. It's cmohs.org/recipients and check out all the great citations of all these great warriors like Staff Sergeant Sims there, okay? And then, as I always mention, if you happen to know like the family or you are part of the family or you're friends with Staff Sergeant Sims' family, let them know about this right there. Let them know that, hey, there's this knucklehead out there paying tribute to Clifford. And I would imagine that they would see this and like, hey, we think that's badass. Thank you for honoring our loved one right there. So I think I like the image of somebody that knew, in this case Clifford Chester Sims, seeing this tribute to their loved one. I like the image and how they might feel. seeing that right there. Okay, but you know what? All good things have to come to an end, and so that goes to for movie military moment. All right. Check out over here. Check out the live chat over here. And it was called Raw Dog right there. Yeah, no. Raw, that wasn't Raw Dog. It wasn't Raw Dog. It was Ghost Dog. Raw Dogs, that's the movie that, you know, back in the day, you know, at the mom and pop video store, you had to go back behind, you know, in the room, the room of shame. You know, that was behind the curtain. You had to like move the curtain to go back there and then, you know, hang out with the rest of the pervs, you know, at, you know, back in that section right there. And so that's where you would find Raw Dog back there. So yes. Yeah, Movies Merica, multi-level marketing. Yes. There you go. So right there, it's a, you know, I promise it's not a scam. Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna come over and we're gonna show you how to hawk this worthless, no good product there, and then we're gonna have you hawk it to all your family and friends so that they all disown you. Okay, and then in the end, you won't make even $1, and you'll lose your entire family over it. So there you go. Now, if you didn't lose your money and you actually have some money left over, if you actually still have some money in the old bank account there, and you know you're digging what I'm doing enough to throw a buck my way, like Mr. Scott Awesome threw a buck my way earlier, you can most certainly do that. So like Mr. Scott Awesome did earlier in Rumble, you can give me what they call a Rumble rant, okay? And very easy if you're on Rumble to throw a buck or two or three or 100 my way. You can definitely do that very easily by where you type in your live chat message there. Just click on the button with the $sign on there. And then it'll just ask you how much money you want to throw to this knucklehead right here. That's it. Very easy, okay? Now, if you're checking me out on YouTube, you can do the exact same thing. It's going to be very similar, but they call it a super chat on YouTube. And you can do that by where you type in your live chat message. Just click on that button with the dollar bill on it, and it'll just ask you how much moolah you want to throw my way. Very easy. That's all there is to it. Very easy right there. So, and hey, you know what? Lindy Rig has heeded the call, and he has sent me a $5 Rumble rant there, and I am so excited. Oh, said not for drugs. Thanks, Lindy Rig. Jeez, what the hell? Well, all right, I guess I'll have. I can't call Nino Brown tonight there, but I appreciate it all the same, Lindy Rig, right there. So I'll have to be a good boy tonight. So there you go right there. So Lindy Rig is showing y'all how to do it right there with the $5 Rumble rant right there. And that deserves a little tug off my beer. All right. And it's, yeah, exactly. So tugs, not drugs, I guess. Oh, yeah. Or tugs for drugs. There you go. So, I mean, if anybody ever saw Menace to Society, I'll suck your dick for crack, man. I'll suck your dick. What'd you say? There you go. And to that notion right there, $20 van make you holla. Yes. Me love you a long time. American GI, sucky. And Lindy Rig, don't give him any bad ideas there. As I put that, clip that. All right, so there you go. I get myself in trouble over here. All right, so what are we going to do next? Oh, well, we got more Nosferatu to talk about here because we got a little sidetrack there, but for a good cause with movie military moments and all that stuff, because it would not be a Movies Merica spoiler warning episode without the movie military moment right there. But you may have heard already ad nauseum, about the visuals in Nosferatu and how striking they are. And there's a reason for that. I mean, you saw it earlier with the video that I played there. You showed the visuals of like Thomas, he's standing there in the crossroads, with the snow and the tree line, and he's waiting for the coach that's going to take him, to his doom. To Count Orlock right there, to Castle Orlock right there. That's a very visually striking, very visually just very cool, very amazing, awesome moment right there. It's just, interestingly enough, that is the favorite shot, the favorite visual of Robert Eggers in this movie. And then also of the cinematographer, Jaron Blaschke, in there, that scene where Thomas is standing there at the crossroads in the middle of the forest there waiting for the coach there. And there's a reason why you've heard so much about, pardon me, about the striking visuals of this movie. I mean, Eggers and his cinematographer, they create these unforgettable, creepy visuals. You saw, they did show this in that video that I showed you earlier. And then, of course, you know it if you've seen the movie. There's that scene where Thomas is, he's standing on a cliff and he's overlooking the village there, the Transylvanian village. So he's like, and that cliff is like way high above the village. He's like looking down. You can see the activity down there. And you got the I think the moon is like lighting up the sky. And there's this very creepy. And then again, that scene where the coach is coming up to pick him up at the crossroads. I think the scene that I thought was the creepiest, or had the creepiest footage, is when he's first going into Count Orlock's castle, or not when he's first going into, but when he's first going into, more like into the interior. He's like going up the stairs to get into the great hall of the castle. And they just did a masterful job, as I'm beer burping over here. Just did a masterful job at building this set with like this ancient looking, these stone walls and the archways. And it's just like this dilapidated castle, and it's barely lit. It's very dark, and you start seeing things start lighting up more and more, little by little, as he gets closer to the great hall where the Count's got a roaring fire going there. Just shadows everywhere. Just very creepy. It just gives you that sense of dread, going into more deeper and deeper and deeper into the castle there. And then also, this is a little bit before that, where Thomas is first going into the castle, and he opens, and it's like this door automatically opens for him, and you just see like the silhouette of Count Orlock, and he's got his one of his pet wolves standing next to him, way off in the distance, and it's just gives you this blood curdle, you're just sends shivers down your spine right there. And so, because of stuff like that, I fully expect that cinematographer that I mentioned before, Jaron Blaschke, to get some Oscars love. Okay, so I think he's going to be in the old Oscars mosh pit. All right, because they are. It'd be a damn shame if this movie, with its just the great shots, just the basically just candy for the eyes. Okay, if this didn't get some Oscars love, at least nominate the thing. I know it's a horror movie, and Oscars look down on horror movies right there, but this is kind of like a classy, sophisticated horror movie. This isn't Terrifier 3. Okay, so no disrespect to horror to the Terrifier movies. They are what they are, but this is kind of a more distinguished kind of what they call elevated horror, that kind of thing. So I think you should get some Oscar love, and also the timing of Nosferatu coming out. It being late in the year, kind of reminded me of like last year, where there were some good movies last year. I thought like Talk to Me was a good movie, Sound of Freedom, but the movie was kind of lackluster, right? The movie year was kind of lackluster in 2023, right? And then right at the end, we all got this special year-end treat by the name of Godzilla -1, right? And it just came from out of nowhere, right? Or I was about to say, not like Nosferatu came from out of nowhere. Nosferatu did not come from out of nowhere. This is a highly anticipated movie, so it's not quite the same as Godzilla -1 in that regard, but it is the same as Godzilla -1 as It is a fantastic movie to close out the year there. So again, if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, ignore the goofy kind of off-putting title to it. When you watch Godzilla -1, you'll learn what Godzilla -1 is and why they call it that. Fantastic. It's my favorite Godzilla movie of all time, and I'm even including like the OG Godzilla movie. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, even better than the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie. I know, it's hard to believe. Hard to believe right there, okay? And then Nosferatu just stands out because it's like this true Victorian Gothic horror type movie that tells, like I've been kind of insinuating throughout this whole episode, what is essentially the Dracula story, okay? But it's the the verboten Dracula story. It's the forbidden Dracula story. It's the contraband Dracula story because, like I said, Nosferatu, the original movie, got sued, right, by Bram Stoker, and they lost. So it's his forbidden Dracula story. But we haven't had a vampire movie like this in a while, where it's like this Gothic style telling of a vampire story, right? Typically we get movies where the vampire is part of like this totally different motif, not connected at all to Bram Stoker or Nosferatu at all. You get vampire movies like Blade and Renfield and Abigail, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Lost Boys, and those movies are all fine movies. Abigail's kind of shaky there, and they're all fine movies, but they're not the Bram Stoker's Dracula type of vampire or anything like that, right? They're not Gothic at all. They're not the Victorian era and whatnot. So I mean, hell, Blade's got techno music playing while he's slicing and dicing vampires and shit. And Blade's not even a full vampire, okay? Right there. So it's definitely not Gothic. You can't be a Gothic vampire movie where playing in the background while you're slicing and dicing vampires and ending vampire lives and shit. That's not Gothic there. And one thing, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the soundtrack. The soundtrack to Nosferatu. It's a banger, man. It is a fucking banger, right? And because it provides that crucial ingredient, or that final crucial ingredient that sprinkles on top of the Nosferatu ice cream sundae right there, in building and maintaining the dread of the film right there. It's got a little bit of John Williams, a little bit of Hans Zimmer in there, some James Newton Howard. It's got like a little bit of Howard Shore. Howard Shore did the Silence of the Lambs soundtrack and the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Got a little bit of all those. You can kind of hear the influences of a lot of those classic movie composers in this, and it's just a fantastic soundtrack right there. Okay, if you want to keep keep your kids, from getting any sleep, just play the Nosferatu soundtrack for them, and you're gonna have some friggin' jacked up, mentally psychotic kids. Okay, you're going to be paying thousands and thousands in child therapy because of the darkness, the Gothic creepiness of the Nosferatu soundtrack there. So, but don't say I never warned you, man. Don't say I never warned you. I told you. All right. So don't come crying to me. When your kids, your kids are still pissing their bed at 17 years old because you played that Nosferatu soundtrack for them when they were 3 years old. Okay, so I will not be blamed. All right, don't put that on this man. All right, so right there, and Ravage Battle, Ravage Battle. Apparently, he's back in that room behind the curtain, deeper and deeper, way down there. All right, control yourself, Ravage Battle. All right, come on. I was going to say this is a kid's show, but it's not right there. And sue everyone. Yes, you're going to court, and you're going to court. I'm taking every damn dime from everybody. Right there. And yeah, Mr. Scott Awesome, you got that right. They don't make Gothic chicks like they used to right there. I mean, who else? Am I the only one who had a big crush on Avril Lavigne, back in the 90s? I'm not gonna talk about how she looks today, But Avril Lavigne, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh yeah, love that right there. So she was hot and gothic back in the day. Then of course Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the OG, back in the 80s or right there. She had basically just a couple of she was a massively talented. I'll just put it that way. There you go. All right, Seth. Office Space reference there. So, and we encourage Office Space references here all the time. And if you guys could, do more Office Space references in here, that'd be great. There you go. All right. So it would just add some flair to the show. That's all I can say right there. It would just add some flair to Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And you know what? If you're watching the show right now, you're probably like, yeah, this show needs a lot more flair. My God, people actually watch this show. Are you kidding me over here? Well, you guys are really going to want to watch the show next week, because the movie for next week's Movies Merica Spoiler Warning is a movie I guarantee you all have heard of. It's a little movie called Seven. Yes, Seven, with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, the late great R. Lee Ermey. Okay, the movie that put David Fincher on the map as a movie director. Seven, yes. So the reason I'm doing Seven is because they are releasing Seven in IMAX for the first time ever. And so I'm going to go check that out in IMAX tomorrow night. And then I'm going to have I'm going to do my little book report. Okay. But unlike when I did book reports when I was in school, in elementary school, I'm actually going to do my homework. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to get up there in front of the class and I'm not going to be like, Seven. What is Seven? Well, it starts with an S and it has 5 letters and it's a number. 7. My book report is not going to be that. The show is not going to be that. All right. I'm coming at you with Fists of Fury of 7. That made no sense whatsoever. So, but I'm going to come fully loaded. See everything. Why does everything sound sexual? What the hell? See, what did you do to me there? Ravage battle over here with your deeper and deeper way down over here. I'm all self-conscious. I can't talk because everything just sounds dirty and pornographic right there. So, well, yeah. So 7 is the movie for next week. Okay, so that means that I'm going to be doing my Movies Merica live show this Sunday afternoon at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. That's God's time. 2 Mountain and 1 Pacific. All about 7. Now, I would say it's spoiler free, but I feel kind of funny it being spoiler free. Talking about a 30-year-old movie being spoiler free, but I'll try not to spoil it because there might be somebody that was, they were Amish until recently and they haven't seen 7 and they're joining the show and hey, Hezekiah, if you're watching my show, Hezekiah and Jobadiah, hey, welcome to the show. All that stuff. Good to see your Amish asses in here. Yeah, so there might be some Amish asses and some people that haven't seen 7. So I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum on Sunday. But then a week from tonight, though, I'm going to unleash spoilers and all about 7. So we're going to talk about, Lindy Rig 87 right there. There's going to be some What's in the Box? And next week's Movies Merica spoiler warning right there, or hey, do you think if I slice off my nipple, I'll get workman's comp, like classic lines like that from 7 right there. And we can all let everybody know, when we first saw 7, what was our reaction throughout the movie? I mean, were you like me? Because I saw 7 when it originally came out. I saw it in the theaters. And it was one of those movies where it had all this audience reaction in it, like Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is one of those classic movies. Pulp Fiction is one of those movies that I think of, I remember as being one of the movies where it had the most audience reaction there. And so Pulp Fiction, 7, I can't think of any other movies than that. But 7 is one of those movies where you just heard, oh my God, I heard that, every once in a while throughout the movie and that kind of thing. Oh, damn, fuck, oh my God. You hear reactions like that in the theater there. So I do want to, hear your first viewing of 7 experiences, next week there. And, you can either let me know, on Sunday, on the Sunday show, or next Thursday show, spoiler warning, right there. And I like the name, man. Is that, I'm going to say Cuntoressa, because I had a dirty mind. And they are a vampire right there. There you go. Well, I appreciate you disclosing that and coming out of the closet as a vampire. And welcome to the show. Good to see you here in the show. And there you go. So, yep, that tracks. That tracks. Vampires want to suck people's blood right there. And you know what? Hey, make sure you get permission from anybody in the live chat right there. Now, I'm going to decline. I don't want my blood sucked quite yet right there. I want to do more shows about vampire movies and whatnot. But I like where your head's at there, Cuntoressa. There you go. And I'm probably butchering that name right there. But they want to suck your blood. Yes. All right. So let's get ready to wrap up this episode right here. Let me double check. I want to make sure I'm not missing any sweet, choice, tip-top chats right there. And like that one. Vampires don't work for the feds, do they? Right? Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen like any vampire front. Bunch of dudes in khakis wearing Dracula capes and talking about I want to suck your blood. There you go. Yeah, you got that right. You're right there. Yes, there you go. 1, 2, 3. I love to count. All right. So now you guys are really begging me to end this show. But first, all right, we can't end the show without letting you guys know about some fantastic sites that you need to check out. Now, you need to check out and save as bookmarks right there. Starting with solo.to/Movies Merica. And why would you want to go there and save that as a bookmark or a favorite if you haven't already? Well, that's the one-stop shop webpage that has all the links to anything involving this guy right here, Movies Merica, okay? So it's got the link to my Letterboxd page, my Critic List page, my X profile, Facebook, Rumble, Gab, everywhere right there. It doesn't have my Friendster page link on there quite yet, but you probably know why. So you check that out and save it as a favorite right there. www.moviesmerica.com. The only reason you want to go there is if you want to check out like the audio-only version of the Movies Merica live show that I do on Sundays. And then, so it's basically the podcast version. And so in the podcast version, my podcast versions are also on YouTube, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I think I probably already said that, but anyway, all those places. But why would you want to check out the audio-only version of the show when you can fire up Rumble or YouTube and watch me and my glorious visage over here? So yes, right there, and check me out in all my glory right there. I don't know why you want to do that, but all right. And then also, yes, this just is pointing out that I'm on the socials. All right, I'm on the social media on X and Instagram and Gab, and all under the handle of @Movies Merica. Okay, and I'm also on, like I mentioned before, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, or I already said Instagram. I'm on Rumble, there, not on TikTok, but I'm on all those social media platforms with the handle of @Movies Merica. Okay, and I'll make you a deal. Listen, let's perk up those ears. I'll make you a deal. If you follow me on any of those platforms, if you look for @Movies Merica on any of those platforms, and you follow me, well, if you let me know that you followed me by DMing me on X and let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on that platform and that platform and that platform, I will follow you back on all those platforms, all right? That's what I'm going to do for you, all right? And to follow me, it costs you nothing, all right? But you're going to get a follower out of it. You're going to get a follower right there, right? So, we all like more followers right there. But I don't know to follow you unless you let me know by putting let me know in the DMs on Twitter right there, okay? And then moving on to tdpn.locals.com. Again, that's our Till Death Podcast Network website with all our great content there. So check that out. Got the old merch store again that I told you about earlier. The merch store is in the link. The link is in the description down there. The merch store link is in the description down below, okay? And get yourself some Movies Merica merch there. Now, when you go to the page there, you might have to scroll down a little bit down the page to get to the Movies Merica stuff, but trust me, it's like Prego. It's in there, all right? And then next we got solo.to/Till-Death-Pod Network. That is the one-stop shop webpage that has all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. So make sure to go there and save that as a favorite. And then we got solo.to/Till-Death Studios. And the reason you want to go there is like if you're a content creator like this guy right here. Okay, I do a show on Rumble and YouTube and all that stuff. And Lindy Rigg does a show and all that stuff. Others do shows that are in the live chat. They're content creators, right? And so, if you're a content creator and you want to spruce up your show, you want to add some more office space type flair, like you work at Tchotchkes, you want to add some flair to your show on YouTube or Rumble or wherever you do your thing at, then go to solo.to/Till-Death Studios, and my man Ian is going to hook you up with cool shit, okay, to spice up your show. Like the movie Military Moment, intro that you saw there. That's from Ian. The background that you see right here, the Movies Merica background, that's from my man Ian right there. But he doesn't know to make that stuff for you unless you go to solo.to/Till-Death Studios and let his skills that pay the bills give you the thrills. All right, so do it. And next is solo.to/I'm Sean Cav. That's where you'd want to go to see all the links that have to do with my man Sean. Here, he's another one of the titans on the Till Death Podcast Network, and he does a show. He does a X space. Looks like I think every Friday afternoon, I believe, and does other various shows here and there. He's also on the Whiskey Capitalist podcast as well, and I guarantee it. Solo.to/I'm Sean Cav is a great place to go for the links to all of that stuff right there. So go there, save it as a favorite, all right? And then we have the solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist webpage there. And again, that is the one-stop webpage for all the links, this time to the Whiskey Capitalist podcast, all the stuff that has to do with that wild and wacky show that you guys all know that comes on every Monday and Wednesday nights, and then every other Tuesdays with Ian and Sean and Casey on there. And so check that out. And that page right there that you're staring at right there, that's a good page to save as a favorite or a bookmark so that you don't miss any of the episodes, where you don't have to wonder, I wonder if there's a show on tonight. Or I know there's a show on tonight, but where do I go to get the link to the show? Go to the solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist right there. Check it out, all right? And then last, but certainly not least, solo.to/Till Death Podcast. That's where you would go for all the links to the Till Death Podcast show. That's the show that started it all here on the Till Death Podcast Network, the flagship show. And that comes on every other Saturday afternoon. And that is with Ian and his lovely bride, Jen, where they talk about all the latest, hottest, sizzling topics of the day, okay? Politics, entertainment, all kinds of cool shit, funny videos, all that stuff. They go through all of that, but they marinate it in their marital mirth, okay? They bust each other's balls like husbands and wives do, right? And you get to be there for all of it, all right? So you get to be there ringside for all of that right there. And so if you want a quick access or a quick way to get to those shows, past and present and future, go to solo.to/Till Death Podcast and save it as a favorite or a bookmark right there, everybody. All right. And real quick here, let me check the live chat real quick here. And I don't know why this one stood out first to me. I don't know. Grindr.com/fan. Right hole. There you go. And yeah, it's like and when you go to my page, first off, here, butthole. There you go. Exactly. Right there. So I'm out. There you go. You outed me. Damn it. Love it right there. So yes, and we got Contaresso, and says she is one of Dracula's brides. right there. So we are learning more. I mean, we are learning more about, again, I know I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but I like the way I say it better. Contaressa. There you go. All right. Well, as well as we got here, we got all kinds of good stuff here. And there you go. Yeah, there you go. Check it out. We got Lindy Rigg, Sean, and Lindy Rigg and ProDad and Beyond Formal and a few others are doing an Among Us stream tomorrow evening right there. So, yeah, go ahead and check out. So I guess Lindy Rigg, probably if they go to, check out Lindy Rigg on X, imagine probably on Lindy Rigg's X page, there's probably a link to that Among Us stream there. So I'd imagine right there in a Ravage Battle All-Star cast. Check it out there. Or maybe go to Lindy Rigg's page on Rumble or Sean. So look up like Sean Cav Live, I think is what Sean's newest page or channel on Rumble is right there. So, and yeah, there you go. Lots of drinking and yelling at each other. And yeah, there you go. Ravage Battle says maybe he could drop in and get banned from that stream too. Hey, one would hope right there. So, and there we go. Yeah, we will all be streaming on our own channels as well. So there you go, man. It's the Power Hour with that all-star cast right there. Sean, Lindy Rigg, ProDad, Beyond Formal, and a few others. So check that all and follow them. All right. Somebody get on there. Don't just watch the show. Follow their channels right there. Support them right there. And when you check that out, make sure you get them a Rumble rant. All right. Throw some money there. Show some financial love to them because, yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do this and do this for hours and hours, right? Now it's not like working in a coal mine. I mean, no one's kidding themselves, all right? None of us are worried about getting the black lung or anything like that. But a little $1 or $2 or $3 coming your way, we will never refuse it whatsoever. Am I right, Lindy Rigg, or am I right? Yeah, I know he agrees. He knows the deal right there. But all right, I think it's about time. We put a stake through Movies Merica Spoiler Warning's heart here and wrap this up. But I just want to thank you guys again for everyone watching, everyone listening, and especially to the people that aren't just watching and listening, they're live chatting. Okay, either on Rumble or YouTube. You guys are the ones that go above and beyond. The guys and gals that live chat right there. Okay, even we got one of the brides of Dracula that were in the live chat right there. So if you want to meet cool and interesting people like one of the brides of Dracula, well, live chat right there. So you guys go above and beyond. You guys kick ass and take names. And again, follow me on X and Instagram and Rumble and Gab and Facebook are right there under the handle of @MoviesMerica. And again, if you let me know, I will follow you back right there. But with that, as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
After me. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. And so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.